Thank you very much for your invitation and for your great explanation about the historical problems, the role of historians, the role of politicians, and so on. I'm Dalibor Jovanovski. I'm professor of modern Balkan history. I was a member of the Council of Foreign Affairs of the former President Ivanov. Also, I'm a member of the Joint Macedonian-Greek Committee for History and Archaeology. But many years before the creation of this committee, I have some kind of experience about the role of the historians in the society, in the process of reconciliation between the neighboring countries. For example, I participated on 4 sessions from 2001 up to the 2003 of mixed private initiative between Bulgarians and Macedonians historians, and I think that Professor Zhezhov was participated on one of these sessions in Bansko, 2002. What was the result? There was no result. Why? We did not attack each other. We did not use different words, but the reality was very simple. Bulgaria became a member of NATO, and in 2004 it was very understandable that Bulgaria is going to be a member of the European Union. So our Bulgarian colleagues did not need us anymore. The second, my participation was from 2013 up to the 2016, although the leftist propaganda media attacked former Macedonian Prime Minister Gruevski that he do not want to make any contacts with the Bulgarian side. It was not so true. Why? Because with the framework of oral agreement between former Macedonian Prime Minister Gruevski and former Bulgarian Prime Minister Borisov, which is very renowned about his position on Macedonian question, Macedonian Academy of Science and Arts and Bulgarian Academy of Science were making a lot of historical projects. Within the framework of these historical projects, in July 2014, we hosted our Bulgarian counterparts from different political opinions, from different intellectual level. We were shocked. Why? Actually, personally, I was not so shocked. I'm professor of modern Balkan history. I have been I'm still making a lot of research about the Balkan history, bilateral historical commissions, and so on. But many of my colleagues were shocked because of Bulgarian offer, which was very offendable for us. And their offers is resembling to the President Putin text about the historical unity of Russians, Ukrainians, and Belarusians. Why? Because our Bulgarian colleagues offered to us everything which was happening up to the 1944 on the territory of the Macedonia region belonged to the Bulgarian history. There will be no step back from our side. And if you want any support from our side for your accession to NATO or to European Union, you must to face this, and you must to accept historical truth. Because we are historians, there are so many historians here in this hall, and we know for one problem there is at least 2 historical truths for one problem, maybe more. We ask them, why? Because you are an artificial nation. created by the Marshal Tito under the auspice of Komintern and Stalin. If we looked in the text of President Putin about the Ukraine, we are going to see the same words. Ukraine was created not by Stalin, they're older, by the Lenin, a few years ago, but the rest is the same, your artificial nation. After that, you know the history and what is happening now. I'm going to try to make a dialogue with the historians from the neighboring countries, because this is the only way to discuss with them. What is most interesting, we are not facing the same treat by our Greek colleagues. They are interested about ancient Macedonia, civil war in Greece, and the ethnic composition of the population of Greece. Of course, they are not prepared to accept that there is any Macedonian minority in Greece and so on. But on the terms of denial, ethnical denial, artificial creation of the nation, so far the problem is a little bit different, although on the first sight or during the first view, the problems is almost the same. What is worrying me is the hypocrisy of European Union. I must to be very frank, because I want to see my country to be a part of the European Union as a full member and equal member. Why I'm saying I'm worrying about the hypocrisy of the European Union? On some my meetings with the Western diplomats, when I want to make any comparison between Russia and Ukraine and our problem with the Bulgaria, it's a forbidden topic. That is not the same. Why? Because there was a Russian aggression and so on. The ethnic denials of the others is not a problem. I have been researching almost all bilateral historical commission in Europe since 1919. Not since 1951 with the creating of the famous French-German Commission, because before the Second World War there was another French-German Commission created during the Hitler time. And it is interesting that they have made, they had two sessions, and they made a recommendation for the textbook during the time when Adolf Hitler was a German chancellor and in the same time the dictator in Germany. No one wants to listen about this case. But what is why I'm so worrying? In 1993, with the resolution of the Italian Foreign Ministry, Slovenian Foreign Ministry, and Croatian Foreign Ministry, two bilateral cultural historical commission was formed. One was Italian-Slovenian cultural historical bilateral commissions, and the other was the Italian-Croatian cultural historical commission. After 7 years, in 2000, the Slovenian-Italian Commission finished their work with the recommendations to the respective government. Of course, Slovenia implemented some of those recommendations. So far, Italy has not implemented any of these recommendations. The other commission had only one session. Only one session. Croatia is now a part of European Union without Italian veto on the topic of history and the work of historical commission. I have asked my Slovenian colleagues who participated in the work of Slovenian Italian Commission. Did you have any pressure by the Italian government about the historical topics and threats not to be part of the European Union? No, there was no. Now we are facing that the work of the Macedonian Bulgarian Joint Historical Commission is a part of our negotiation process with European Union. That is worrying me. We have a very positive examples with the Slovenian and Slovenian Italian Cultural Historical Commission, which had some results, and we have also another positive example with the Italian Croatian Cultural Historical Commission without result. And I'm really worrying of this hypocrisy, because I'm forbidden to make any comparison between the words of President Putin and the words of President Radev, which is the same. You're the artificial nation, and the work of one of the Commission, which is a part of our negotiation process for accession to European Union. However, as I said before, I have, and I will try to do my best to discuss with our neighbors about various historical topics which divide us, but it's very difficult when you, as a professional historian, not as a professional politician or professional historian politician, or political historian, and so on, when you're facing the argument that you're stealing their history. It is very difficult, and from time to time it is very offendable for me as a person, and I suppose for my colleagues who are here. I have invited some of my colleagues from the Department of History, doctorants, which were my former students. Of course, there is students on postgraduate studies, and here is the president of the Association of the Students of History at Faculty of Philosophy. It was not an order, but friendly recommendation to come here to listen something or to see our discussion. So your initiatives is quite good for us. We are going to participate in, or to become a member or members, to join your activities and to learn something more, because there is no person in the world which knows everything. Thank you very much.